Hello, I'm Don Conklin. Today we're talking about the preliminary forecast technology. It's currently being used by the AAUP, which is my association of study for the IDT 585. In a current study by IT Issues Relevant IT Higher Education, which AAUP is basically the epitome of higher education, there was a publication that did the top 10 IT issues for 2016. They are, in order of relevance: information security, optimizing educational technology, student success technology, IT workforce, hiring and retention, institution data management, IT funding models, BI and analytics, enterprise application integration, IT organization development, e-learning and online education. We're going to hit on the ones that are dealing directly with emerging technologies out of the 10. The first one is not a pretty thing, but it is 100% of all the university VPs and CIOs they interviewed, 100% unanimous, was information security. It needs a holistic, agile approach. It needs to be taken to create a secure network. They need to develop security policies and reduce institutional exposure. They need better security, they need better redundancy, and they need admin and executive buy-in. Nobody wants to be that breach on the 11 o'clock news. The next thing is educational technology. It needs to be optimized. This is relating to learning management systems, LMSs, which I reference quite frequently in a lot of my presentations. It needs to be flexible. It needs to have an integrated shell, like we have an example there of a shell over top of a Moodle project, which is a current platform that's open source, which has full-time support staff. It needs to have a buy-in. Currently, less than 50% of the people that have access to this type of LMS infrastructure have buy-in to use this, and this only hurts the students. We need to get more buy-in from the faculty. The next is student success technology. There needs to be another invested interest in improving student outcomes. Online nursing programs and stuff are 100% invested in the non-nursing and non-online facilities. This is relating to the one facility that I'm dealing with here directly. That's why I'm referencing nursing. Is less than 50% tool use. A lot of the other older, more non-flexible, in New York State they have what they call CCAS, which a lot of people use, do not have the flexibility and the needing to be able to give the advisement and instructors the information, the tools that they need, and you have slipping through the cracks of students. Next one I have is data management. Currently, right now, all the different institutions out there have independent silos. A lot of them have different integration within their own institution, but they are designed in different ways for each institution. There needs to be a uniform standard. Some centralized force, say like at a state level, needs to come down and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I see is in New York State, for the SUNY programs anyways, the catalyst for that may be Open SUNY. The next one I have is what I talked about earlier, the analytics. Effective analytics needs to be relevant to the institutional priorities and decision and accessible to administrator, faculty, and students. The main group that uses this is the admissions department, who uses quite a few different type of clearinghouses. And a lot of them manually compiling. There's a lot of stuff out there. I don't know, I was going to start naming some, but I guess we'll keep this generic. Institutions right now are not heavily invested in this as far as to get the programs out to the administrators that need access to this. They can't wait for empty seats before they invest in this type of analytics that gives the information out to the people that need it to make rational decisions. Integrating enterprise applications. A lot of the industry out there is ever changing. It's web based. The applications are more and more specialized. The workforce behind the IT departments is getting thinner and leaner. It needs to be more integrated into the existing proposed. It needs to be highly secure. We just can't go out there and just grab any application that's out there. You got to make sure it integrates with what you already have in your office. So it's not secure, and so if one guy makes his $10 million or whatever he makes and just drops the platform, and it's, that information out there is not abandoned. The last year I have on my list is scalable and widely resourced e-learning services. This is a e-learning class that we're looking at right now as we're talking about IDT 585, and it needs a staff. It needs to be increased to extend for expansion to online education. The brick and mortar institution itself needs to invest heavily in online. It is the future. These programs are taking off leaps and bounds. They really need to set up site licenses. Like for this class, there's a Zoom site license, and a lot of other institutions have the same thing, but it needs to be integrated. It needs to be accessible from anywhere. Here's just a little recap of the top 10 we were looking at there, where I was looking to reinvest into, where to divest in any location, say as a student success technologies and the analytics, where you actually need stakeholders within the institutions to say, okay, this is what we need. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully this gives you an idea of my preliminary forecast of technology for use by the AAUP. Have a good day.